All right, so we're gonna try to hit the Skins. No one cares. They play the Chargers this week. They're 6-6. It's a 4:05 game. It's in Carson, California. What they only hold 30,000.
They play at the Hub Center. They play at the Sub Hub.
They're playing in a soccer stadium.
Yes.
No, nobody really cares, but the Chargers are surging a little bit. They're not quite the pushover that they thought they might be, that we thought they might be a few weeks ago.
Can't find a kicker, though. I believe they're on to their third kicker this
Novak
season.
still hurt.
Who missed
They put
a field goal this week.
They did, yeah.
That's true. They can't find a kicker that they can rely on.
If the Redskins still had meaning to their season, I'm dumb enough I would have picked them. I would have picked them in every stretch. The Redskins actually do lead the all-time series 7-3 for whatever, that's worth, not much.
But the AFC West is crazy because you got the Chiefs, who are still technically in first place, and then you've got the Chargers and the Raiders all at 6-6. And the Chiefs play the Raiders and the Chargers the next 2 weeks. They play the Raiders this week, I believe, and then the Chargers in 2 weeks.
Now, the guys will be competing. They'll be out. They're going to try to win, but there's not that much to play for, even though mathematically, I guess this is some weird way they could still be in this. If they lose, then I think they're mathematically eliminated. I was thinking about it. It was weird. I was thinking about the Redskins last night. I was laying in bed, of all the things to think about. And there's so many disappointing things I kind of wanted to throw out there. I think the number one disappointing thing for me as a Redskins fan was, there's so many to choose from, was the lack of production from Terrell Pryor, because I really did expect him to have a big year. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people would maybe say Terrell Pryor, but I'll tell you who number 2 for me might be, and this might be number 5 for others. I mean, maybe it's not high enough, but I really thought Ryan Anderson was going to have an impact. I really thought the linebacker. I bought into all the hype. Like, he was like a mean, like, you remember, like, reading, like, he was like an angry guy.
All over the field.
All over the field. Yeah. Relentless, just love football, kind of surly. And, he kind of got nicked up or had a shoulder.
He battled some injuries
early on. Was a factor.
They used him at fullback a couple times down inside the 5.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure he ever was a factor this year.
Made a couple plays, but overall,
nothing
he hasn't been a big factor. He's on special teams, gets spot duty.
Second-round pick, right?
Yes.
I'm telling you, he might even be a bigger disappointment than Terrell Pryor.
I think it's a good topic.
I would expect him to come back strong next year.
I think it's a good topic. 800-636-1067. I agree. Terrell Pryor is probably number 1. Lack of a running game is up there. But this is not just this year. Since he's been here, I think he is a very good corner. But I'm a little disappointed that we never see Josh Norman interceptions. You know what I mean? You figure if you're one of the top corners in the game, you would pick off a quarterback every now and then. I think he might have 0 this year.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill him for that.
They don't throw it his way very often.
And he makes plays. But I'll say this, his play has slipped.
Well, you're talking about disappointing, so I think he's had a disappointing year in some respects because he has had bad games. He's been beaten.
He's also had good games.
And he never has picks.
He's made 100 times.
It's hard to kill a corner for not having a lot of picks.
When they don't throw your way a lot.
That's hard.
But also, he's had 100 more plays than Ryan Anderson's had. And 100 more plays than Terrell Pryor's had.
He's also paid 100 times more than Ryan Anderson.
I'm not going to let that affect the way I judge it. Maybe I should.
He's also had some pretty good games. He played amazing in the Seattle game.
Yeah, he's had some good games. Yeah. I don't think he's played that great down in the last few, but he's been banged up.
And your secondary is only really as good as your pass rush, so that affects it. But I was surprised at some of those numbers you put at, like the wide receiver ratings, like the efficiency of the wide receivers specifically against Norman that you threw out, or maybe it was the quarterback rating. When you throw to Norman, it was like 108 or something.
Yeah, and I think also when you look at Pro Football Focus, at least as of a few weeks ago, where you look at his overall rating, it was in the low 30s. Might even been approaching 40. So, I mean, we all think he's like this top cornerback, but maybe he's really not.
You said what's the most disappointing thing, and kind of agree with you on Terrell Pryor.
Terrell Pryor's 1, I guess, but to me it's Ryan Anderson. That's our second-round draft pick, who I thought was going to be an angry, surly killer, and he's basically done.
Disappointing rookie campaign.
I would put Josh Norman up there.
The fact that Jordan Reed can't stay healthy and play 16 games, or even 14. I mean, he just can't play.
He's been disappointing.
Yeah, it's been a huge disappointment. He signed a big contract extension a couple years ago.
And prior to 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then definitely including last week, I mean, Jamison Crowder overall disappointing.
I mean, luckily they had Vernon Davis.
So
they could slot in there behind Jordan. But Jordan Reed's been a huge disappointment.
Even though he's been coming on, how can you not put Doxson in the mix? I mean, in year 2.
He's overall been disappointing.
He has. I mean, he's had a bigger role, but how can you not have a bigger role than, what do you have, 2 catches as a rookie?
By the way, Ryan Anderson has 8 tackles.
I'm telling you.
No sacks.
Zach Brown gets that in 3 quarters.
No one's talking about him. And
I think the last couple weeks there's been more and more discussion about Ryan Anderson.
I was expecting big things. I love that whole, like, angry, surly, don't really like to talk to people, just likes to kill you on the football field. And he just hasn't really done it.
Well, you expect kids, especially on the defensive side of the ball from Alabama, to have an immediate
right away.
An impact.
Now, I know he's been banged up. He's got a shoulder issue. And I believe that's why he even fell to us where he did. But still.
I think it's also he's behind Preston Smith and Ryan Kerrigan.